nationality. I know there are two Congos. I've come from the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's where I was born, and up to when I finished my studies in agriculture. So currently I live in Uganda as a refugee, and I've been living there for the last 15 years, working with young African refugees for internal development, an organization I co-founded in 2008. Well, that's a very difficult question, but of course, I've been a leader, and that is for more than 10 years right now. When I talk about a leader, I'm looking at the role that I've been playing in my community, also the role that I've been playing, in running the organization that I'm working so far. I think when it comes to the way I do think, honestly, I'm going just to rely on what people talk about me, and I know that I always give people time to do things, and especially when there is something wrong that has happened. I'm this kind of person who believe in changes, and I do believe that people can change as long as you tell them that there's something that going wrong there. And this it's not something that you expect to happen here and there, so it takes time. So I believe in giving people time to change, and I think this has worked. It's really very important. There is a lot. I can say that I've learned leading a refugee-led organization, but also I would say that it has been actually a kind of school for me, because since I started leading a refugee-led organization, I've been learning every single day of my life. And not just looking at my background, as I said earlier, I did agriculture. So what I'm doing right now, it's not really what I've been expected to do in my life. That just happened, So you can imagine and you can understand when they talk about agriculture, what kind of life I was expecting to have. But all in all, because of the displacement situation, I had to adapt. So there is a lot that I've learned, and one of them, I think it's patience. Working with refugees and running a refugee-led organization, it requires a bulk of patience, because sometimes, you feel like, always things take long to happen, not because of, just because we are slow doing things, but it's more because, even when you look at the resources and, slow, they take too much time, to happen. So that's one thing that I learned. And the number two that I've learned, I think I've learned that, in life there is a need of flexibility. People need to be flexible in everything that we're doing. And especially when you are dealing with people that have been forcibly displaced, sometimes, you have to deal with people who have, people have gone through a very difficult situation, and sometimes even, the way you expect them to do things, it doesn't happen always in that way. So it needs a lot of flexibility and also time, to make sure that, you understand clearly, who you are, the person and the people that you are dealing with. I think let me talk about those two, though I have a lot that I can say that I've learned in the 15 years that I've been, working with refugees. Yeah. Well, I think, yes, if I can talk about the impacts, here we are talking about, 5 strong organizations coming together, and which organization are operating in a very different geography, and so on. I think for me, the first impact I can talk about is learning. I think I've learned a lot from each and every person who is part of the coalition. And I think that is really very, very important. If I consider myself, I look at myself right now, and comparing from the time I joined, I think there is a lot that has happened. There is a lot that I've learned. Yes. YARID stands for Young African Refugees for Integral Development. I'm sorry, it's too long. So, as you said, it's a refugee-led organization that started, in Kampala, Uganda, 15 years back. I'm looking at that's exactly in 2008. And from there up to now, we've been working, in supporting our communities, both in Kampala, which is an urban setting, but also in the refugee settlement. Well, there is what I can say, and which I think is what is really very interesting, is that the time that YARID started, we never thought that this is going to be an organization. I think it was just trying to come in and bringing people together, because either some of us were very idle, and also maybe others are facing so many challenges. We thought that it was very important to bring people together so that we can start discussing about, just create a space whereby people can come in, can gather in and come and discuss about whatever they want to talk about. Because as refugees, but also as an organization that is more looking at the young people. These are the young people that were expected to be in school, not spend their time wandering here and there. These are young people who may be maybe working at different places, but because of this lack of those opportunities, they became, kind of idle. So we had to create a space. We had to come up with something that at least bring them together. And of course, by coming together, so we couldn't just be there talking about the issues and what we face, what we've gone through. We had also, just to come up with some solutions. And that's when I can say the idea of starting an organization came in, because after talking about a lot of problems, we cannot continue talking about problems all the time. What can we do as community members to start bringing solutions and solving this problem that people are facing? And I think that's where everything started. And again, we couldn't, wait for to register, to formalize. We had to start. This all formalizing things came actually very, very late after we had already started training, teaching people English, supporting those who cannot, who don't know how to write and to read, supporting the women who were working as workers to empower them so that they can be able to support their families. Yeah. Yeah, what I can say, and I think I've said it again and again, when I look at really, I think it's really something that I'm excited with, because for so many years we've been fighting, as RLOs, to make sure that we get a space, to make sure that we are recognized as any other organization that supporting refugees. I think really, for really to be there, it has come, kind of, to with the solution of, the struggle and the fight we've been having for so many years. And this is not a secret that so many people and know how, as a refugee-led organization, it's really, and it has been very, very difficult to secure funds. But even to be recognized as other in the humanitarian sectors, as also an organization that is coming in and supporting people in the communities. I think that is something that's really good about, really, and I can say that, for the last 2 years that we've been working together, there is a lot that has happened in terms of securing both resources, but also learning, because as I said earlier, we do learn every day, and the good thing with this, because we've been learning from each other, but also we have been able to secure resources that really has supported us, to implement, the ideas and the solutions that, we have for our community. Because as we know, as a refugee-led organization, sometimes we find ourselves, you have so many ideas, there are so many good solutions that we really would love to implement, but we're facing the challenge of not accessing the resources. I can see that's also happening, to other areas that have benefited from the support from really. Yeah, you cannot compare. You cannot compare. When I'm at really, I feel at home, whereby people have an open and honest discussion. I think that is really very, very important. It's not like actually one of the challenges that we've been having as a refugee-led organization to work with other partners, because we never felt like there is that kind of equal partnership. It's rather just because of compliance, and that sometimes people like refugee-led organizations sometimes are brought on board, not just because they find an area as a valuable organization that also can bring something very important to the work that they're doing. So, but really, we do understand and we do really value the work that each and everyone is doing by having that open discussion. And there is also that flexibility in understanding that though we are living in different locations, there are things that are really specific for each and every location that people need to take consideration of. And really that is really very, very important, because, as for instance, someone who is has been working in Uganda, I think I'm at the right position, to understand what is happening in Uganda. And so I can also be at the right position to know what solution is supposed to be taken where, and not here but the other side. I think that's also something that is really super, very interesting. Yeah. Well, what advice I can give them, of course, mine is really very simple, and I'm going to give an example. If sometimes I think people get demoralized and discouraged because it's very difficult to run an organization without resources. But I think what is unique about most of the refugee-led organization, that passion. Because in most cases, people don't just start this organization because they have resources or because they expect to get resources. The motivation that they have for the passion is really actually beyond anything that you can understand. And the advice that I can give to them, I think, to keep that, because the problem that our community are facing, they keep on increasing. Where I come from, every day, every week, if we get new people, new arrival coming. So people need to understand that, us as the refugee-led organization, we have a very big role to play. Because before anyone else come in to support the people in our community, we are always the first people to do that. I think it's really very important that we keep that, and we understand that we have a very big role to play. But also, I will really advise that always it's very important that people come together, because one voice you cannot be compared with two voices. One effort cannot be compared with 2, 3, 4, 5 efforts, because we always have this kind of minimum resources. I think it will make more sense that people always come together, they put their effort together, they put their voices together, so that we can make sure that we have an impact.